Hi guys and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. So today I've got in my second Escapement Time. You'll probably remember I got in the dress watch a little while ago, and yeah, I was literally blown away by the quality, guys. It was retailing for sort of 50 odd pound, which is about 70 odd dollars ish, and it offered so much watch for the price in terms of the movement. As I've got a mecha quartz movement in it, sapphire crystal, nicely finished case. The dial, like the white enamel dial with the applied indices, everything just looked really, really good. It was a homage of another more well-known watch. I'm sure you'll see when you look at it. But this one, so I had to get another Escapement Time. They get a lot of love on YouTube from watch reviewers and stuff. And I see a lot of pictures on Instagram as well of people wearing their Escapement Time with pride. So I wanted to get the diver in. Yeah, it's okay. The one thing I'll say, and I've also said in my thumbnail, is that they're not all winners. This one's got a few issues, and probably at the time of you watching this video, I would have already sold it. I probably wouldn't have kept it anyway, to be perfectly honest. But with the few issues I found, it would have been a bit of a struggle for me to keep it, to be quite honest, just because they're things that I would expect to be done better. It's an inexpensive watch, yes. In terms of the diver, this comes in at sort of £80, I think, £80-ish, $100-ish. And the two glaring things that I noticed, I wouldn't have expected to be there, to be honest, especially with someone like the gentleman that builds these watches. It's a hobby of his, and I know that he's normally quite diligent, but this watch seems to have slipped through the net. So yeah, do stay tuned. I will go through all the good stuff, the specs and the pants and pukka. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away, so I'm going to shut up. And without further ado, let's get the camera turned around. Hi guys, so this is the watch. Again, I do apologise if you're picking up my fan on the audio. It's just very, very warm. So the only way I was going to get through this video is by having the fan on. So I do apologise. As you can clearly see, it's the Escapement Time. I've just called it the Escapement Time Diver. As I said in the brief intro, it does look very much like another very well-known dive watch, and obviously you'll be able to see that for yourself. But yeah, this is the second Escapement Time watch I've had in. Again, I wanted to get it in just because the first one was sensational, to be quite honest. A dress watch that I've kept hold of, I think, for the money. And I think I said before, I think as a dress watch goes, I don't think you get much better value for money than that watch. So yeah, I wanted to try and get another one in. And yeah, so this is the packaging. Very, very standard packaging that it comes in, and there you go. There's a dive watch. But yeah, this is how it came. It did come with the wrappers and stuff. It didn't come with any warranty cards or anything else. This is exactly how it came. But yeah, this sort of sells for sort of £85, which is probably about $110-ish on AliExpress. But yeah, I've just called it the Escapement Time Diver. The movement inside is an automatic movement. You can't see it given the fact it's a stainless steel case back, but it is a brushed case back, and it has got various bits of writing about the watch and specs going around the outer edge of the case back. But yeah, it's an automatic Seiko NH35 movement, which is the date variant. The case bezel, apart from the insert, the crown, case back and pin buckle clasp are all 316L stainless steel. The case thickness of this watch is 13.4 millimeters. The case diameter, when you go from the 9 to the 3 o'clock position, is 42.5 millimeters. But I will confirm that because my caliper was playing up. So if anything's slightly off, I will put the writing in front just to confirm. So it's 42.5 millimeters. The lug width on this watch is 22 millimeters, and the lug to lug, tip to tip is 46 millimeters. But as I say, I will leave if anything is slightly off, I will leave the writing up, just because, like I said, my caliper was playing up when I did the measurements, so do bear with me. As I've already showed you, the case back style is stainless steel, and it is screwed down, and it has various bits of writing just denoting the specs and water resistance and stuff going around the outer edge, as I've already alluded to before. The bezel type is a ceramic bezel insert, and I'll just let you have a listen very quickly. It's a 60 click unidirectional bezel. As you can probably also see, it doesn't line up, and the clicks are not amazing, but we will talk about that in a bit more detail a little bit later on. The crown is signed with the logo for Escapement Time on there, and again we have a couple of issues with the crown, but we'll talk about that in a bit more detail, but it's signed and screwed down. The strap it comes on is a silicone strap. As you can see, it looks like two bits of silicone sort of mushed together. Mush is a technical term, just in case you didn't know. The clasp is a pin buckle clasp, and yeah, it's brushed, not done to a bad standard actually. I like the fact it's a little bit stiffer. I don't like them when they're just flopping all over the place. And I don't know, that wasn't an innuendo, guys. Get your minds out the gutter. But yeah, the crystal covering that dial is a sapphire crystal, and again, you know me, I do like a bit of sapphire crystal on my watches. The water resistance, you might be able to make out just down about the 6 o'clock position, is 200 meters, so that would give you approximately 20 atmospheres of water resistance, and also the weight will appear in the top right hand corner. Not light, given the fact that it's on a silicone strap, but yeah, that's the weight. But yeah, guys, let's have a look at the dial in a bit more detail now. So what you have, you've got a raised rehaut with a minute track going on that rehaut, so it's raised. Inside, none of the elements look like they're applied, to be honest, onto the dial. The loom looks like it's painted on very thickly, and the loom itself is actually pretty good. You'll see that at the end. Just below the inverted triangle at the 12 o'clock, you've got Escapement Time written onto the dial. I do like the way they've written it. You also get the same writing on the box, and just for a little bit of consistency, above the double batten or double sort of circles mushed together, again I've used that word again, at the 6 o'clock you've got automatic 200 meters, just written above that, applied or painted on batten down at the 6. You've got the date window at the 3 o'clock position, just sort of outlining the fact, as I said, that it is a automatic NH35 movement. The crown on this, as I've sort of said a moment ago, is not the easiest to sort of engage, but let me just give it a go. I feel, I could be wrong, but I do feel like the crown guard, the upper part of the crown guard could be too tight, and that's creating a bit of a problem in terms of trying to engage the crown. But there you go, it's popped out. Once it's at the first position, you can wind it, given the fact it is a Seiko NH35 movement. You take it all the way out, the movement will hack, as you probably would expect, given the fact it's an NH35 movement. If you put it back in and you now go to the sort of second position with the date, you can sort of scroll through and change the date to wherever you like. Put it back in again, and there you go. You can hand wind it just to give it a bit more juice. As I've already alluded to, trying to get this to engage is not the easiest, to be honest. And even when you do, I can't screw it down too far, or I can't get it to unscrew again. So yeah, this crown is a little bit hopeless, to be honest. I'm not sure if this is something that you get on a lot of these watches. I'm not really sure, but this is the one that I received on mine. But yeah, I've managed to do it up, so you can't go all the way, and I'll show you this at the other end. There is quite a lot of a gap there in terms of where it's supposed to screw down, but you can't get it down there. But yeah, that's the dial, that's the movement, that's the crown in its entirety, really. But yeah, let me pop on the wrist very quickly, let you see what it looks like on my wrist. My wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist. This will fit wrist sizes from a fair old scope. So like you can see, if it goes all the way down, so you can go loose, so you probably can go to sort of like 8.5, 9-inch wrist, all the way down to probably a 6, probably maybe a little bit lower, but it does fit a fair old scope of wrists, and that's what it looks like on my wrist. So there you go. But you will see it again in daylight shots outside, and you'll be able to get a better feel for it. But yeah, wears quite well on my wrist, I must admit. But that would now take me on to what I think is pants and pukka about the watch, if I can get the watch off, that is. And if you've ever watched this before, you'll know I always start with pants. I like to go on the high with pukka. So there's 3 things really that I'll mention for pants. Starting off with the bezel. The bezel, guys, I know this is an inexpensive watch, but the bezel is poor. I won't make any bones about it. The bezel is very, very poor. The clicks are very uneven. They sound awful. They feel not much better, and it doesn't line up. Yeah, the bezel is bad. I'll be honest. Let me wipe it quickly. I've got all fingerprints. I do apologise for my sticky fingers, but yeah, I've got the bezel is very poor. Actually, I'm really unimpressed with the bezel. The crown, in terms of trying to screw it up and unscrew it, I don't know if you can see, but it looks very, very snug on the topper part of the lug ends, or yeah, the crown guards even. Yeah, not sure how that's been made. There's definitely a QC issue there. But the crown, yeah, like I said, trying to screw it and unscrew it, you can't really feel if it's doing anything until you can see it's done something. So that's not good enough, to be honest. And also, this watch arrived. Again, sorry guys, fingerprints. But I don't know if you can tell, but there is a scratch on the back. I'll see if I can get it just for you with the light. It arrived with a scratch on the back. So you can see it just there. But yeah, there's a scratch on the back. You haven't got to use a macro lens to see it. You can quite clearly see it. I opened up the package and it had a scratch on the back, which is very disappointing again. So yeah, just to surmise what I think is pants, I'd go with the bezel, I'll go with the crown, and I'll go with the QC issue with the scratch on the back of the case back. What I think is pukka, I would go with the sapphire crystal. I do like the fact they put sapphire crystal in there. There's a bit of AR coating as well. The movement, yeah, Seiko NH35 movement for a watch at this price, yeah, very good. I'm very happy with that. The loom is outstanding. Actually, the loom is probably, for me, the best part of the watch. The loom is phenomenal, and you'll see that at the end in the video where I filmed in complete darkness, so you can see what the loom has to offer. And the silicone strap, much better than when you get on the sort of the watch that this is homaging, which was very, very stiff. This is very soft. Could have been finished a little bit better at the edges, but yeah, the strap is decent, to be honest. It would definitely be one that if I was keeping this watch, I wouldn't have a problem keeping it on this strap. But yeah, so just to surmise what I think is pukka, I'll go with the sapphire crystal, the movement, the loom, and the silicone strap that it comes on, and that will take me on now to whether I'd recommend this watch. And guys, I've got to be honest, I've been massively disappointed with this watch. I think I was spoiled slightly by their dressy piece, the one that had the mecha quartz movement inside. Yeah, very, very nice watch, but this is massively disappointing. The way it's turned up to my door with the bezel, the crown, and the case back being scratched, yeah, just not for me really. Very disappointing. I was hoping, I had built this up in my mind, so it was going to be a fantastic little watch. I was even toying with the idea of getting a stainless steel strap to put on it and stuff, but yeah, I won't be doing that. I probably won't be keeping this. But you say, yeah, it's a no from me, guys, to be honest. I'm not going to slag them off. I know there's one gentleman who does this as a hobby, and obviously QC problems can happen. But yeah, not for me. This is a massive disappointment, given, like I said, what I had before from Escapement Time. But guys, let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And thank you for tuning back in. And as I always say, don't forget to like and subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.